Hello horror hounds, welcome to my horror house. This afternoon felt like an absolutely perfect time to break into my emergency giallo collection. If there are any long-term viewers of the channel, first of all, you have my sincere apologies for, the content. But you will also know that giallo is a subgenre that I absolutely adore. And I've got a ton of movies in my collection that I could quite easily burn through, but just want to save and use on special occasions. And today I chose 7 Blood-Stained Orchids, written and directed by Umberto Lenzi. Because between you and me, I've been in a bit of a funk over the last few weeks. I haven't been writing. I haven't had the urge to write for my latest horror project. I haven't really had the urge to watch much horror. And I had the afternoon to myself, and I thought now is the absolute perfect time to watch one of these gialli. And it was really, really enjoyable. I am not going to pretend to you that this is the best giallo movie out there, but if you want solid Italian 70s giallo cinema that ticks all of your boxes, a black-gloved killer, a police investigation that also involves us following civilians round in parallel, investigating the murders, beautiful people in even more beautiful locations, a series of murders, a really funky score that just gets into your mind and won't let go, a revelation at the end that your mileage may vary on whether or not it makes sense or not, but by that time that's really not what you're here for. Then I've got to say that 7 Blood-Stained Orchids ticks all the boxes. Umberto Lenzi, in my mind, is more famous for movies like Cannibal, Ferox and Nightmare City. So it was really interesting to see him more restrained, I guess, because he's working within the conventions of giallo. 7 Blood-Stained Orchids starts with a murder, black-gloved killer, knife. Then there's another murder, there's a police investigation. The nice little hook for this is that our married couple, the wife is attacked and she's not killed, and the police use it as an opportunity to try and wrong-foot the killer, and they announce her death. They hold a funeral for her. And then whilst she is sort of holed up, the husband takes that as an opportunity to start his own investigation because he doesn't trust the cops. And we follow his investigation around, and you find a link between the victims, and then you find potential future victims, and there's races against time to try and save them, and some nice suspenseful moments. And what you're really waiting for is the red herrings, and then finally the reveal at the end of who the killer is in grand giallo tradition. And the thing I love about this subgenre is the experience while you're watching it. If you completely give yourself into all the tropes and all the contrivances, I find myself starting to come up with wilder and wilder theories as to who the killer might be, because you never know whether the movies are going to play fair with you. Are they going to play it straight down the line and have a wonderful resolution with the likes of Deep Red, Dario Argento's Profondo Rosso? The ones I adore are like The Night Evelyn came out of the grave, which dance so much with supernatural explanations that you start to go a little bit crazy and go, well, hang on a minute, it can only be ghosts or zombies or this. There can't be a rational explanation. And then after the narrative tying itself into so many knots, seeing it untie itself is glorious. So you never quite know what you're going to get, and you never quite know how much you should trust what you've been shown. So there were portions of this movie where I was thinking, well, hang on a minute, we saw the wife get attacked, but can we trust that? Was that from her perspective? Could she be the killer? Could she have stabbed herself to move suspicion away from herself? Could it be her husband? And then you watch the scene and go, no, it definitely can't be the husband because he was there when this was happening. But can I trust that this was happening? Is it one of the police officers? You just start to suspect absolutely everything. And start to be suspicious of everything that the movie shows you. And I absolutely adore a subgenre whose raison d'etre seems to be to just fuck with the audience and wrong foot them. And sometimes they get wild, and yeah, sometimes they go a little bit too far, and you get to the revelation and you go, oh, really? What? But, you know, you pays your money and you takes your choice. 7 Blood-Stained Orchids turned out to be a really solid, very enjoyable giallo movie. I enjoyed the suspense scenes. Okay, maybe it gets a little low energy at about the 2/3 mark, but it sort of ramps back up towards the revelation again. I liked the murder scenes. I liked the unfolding mystery and the investigation. The jet set cast and locations were great. The groovy soundtrack. Look, when you've got your principal protagonists who are in sort of the fashion and art world, and then you have your second victim, when she's killed, she falls through a picture frame. So she's there inside a picture frame, her body, with paint actually falling on her body. So her death is the work of art, which is there in microcosm, is Italian horror cinema. The violence and the murder is the art. Then you've got me. I'm a guppy on the hook. You can reel me in from that point. I'm an absolute mark for it. Unfortunately, later murders didn't go that grand and make that much of a statement, but it's there. And while stuff like that is there, I am turning up for it. Sadly, the investigation quickly leads away from the fashion world and the art scene, which is unfortunate because the art scene and giallo cinema go together like a hand in a black leather glove. So, I thoroughly enjoyed 7 Blood-Stained Orchids. It is a solid mid-level giallo that I will enjoy putting back amongst my collection, and probably in 5 years' time I'll be rifling through again and hopefully will have forgotten the plot and who the murderer is and just get to enjoy it all over again. That's kind of the joy of some of these movies, for me at least, is in the forgetting and having all the weird, crazy, twisty plots kind of merge into one another, because it means I can double dip and then triple dip and just go on the ride again, and maybe halfway through I'll go, oh yeah, this is the one where the cousin is the aunt with the scissors and the burns, or that's the one with the twins and the police officer whose beard is seen through the camera lens. And with that, what other Umberto Lenzi movies would you recommend to me? I'm asking for your recommendations. Let me do a Hannibal Lecter style quid pro quo and recommend Fashion Victims by R. Sinclair. If you like giallo cinema, then this is a book that I think you will love. A serial killer is loose in the New York fashion scene in the run-up to Fashion Week. Grand guignol deaths and a twisty-turny storyline that makes you question, hang on, is this real or is this not real? Is this in the character's head or is this actually happening? If this ever got made into a film, I would make it as an homage to Italian giallo cinema of the 70s, and it would be glorious. The murder weapon is a fashion trophy that's a large pair of scissors. Need I say more? Fashion Victims, R. Sinclair. Treat yourself.
I bid you welcome.
I welcome you to my house.
Welcome to my house.
Welcome to my home.